This is Counterpoint, and I'm your host, Tanya Granick-Allen. We knew it was going to happen, and now it is here, a tariff war with our closest neighbor, the United States. Since President Donald Trump was inaugurated, it was only a matter of when. After all, he did make repeated threats of tariffs against Canada and Mexico. But Trump has now officially kickstarted a trade dispute, which will no doubt cause major ripples across North American commerce. With a series of tariffs on Canadian goods affecting numerous industries, the Trump administration has disrupted decades of close economic ties between the two countries. These moves, which were initially framed as efforts to protect American industries and jobs, have led to significant tension, with Canada retaliating by imposing its own tariffs on U.S. imports. This trade war will have far reaching effects, impacting industries, jobs, and consumer prices on both sides of the border. As the conflict continues to escalate, the question remains, what's driving these aggressive tariff policies? What is Trump after? And how much longer can the US-Canada trade relationship withstand this pressure? For many, the economic toll is already clear, with some Canadian industries facing financial strain and US businesses and consumers grappling with rising costs. On top of that, the broader diplomatic implications have raised concerns about the long-term health of the North American economy and the integration within global trade systems. Well, to help us unpack it all, and it's a very complex issue, we're joined today by Dr. Ian Lee, an associate professor in the Sprott School at Carleton University, who has not only lectured globally on business, but has also been extensively interviewed and published on today's subject matter. Dr. Lee, thank you so much for joining me today. I know you're a very busy man. I hear you in the news all the time, so I'm happy to dive right in.
Thank you for inviting me, Tanya. This is a very, very important subject. Probably the most important issue facing our country, and probably since the Second World War. Not that I was around then, but this is as big as it gets.
Absolutely. Definitely in my lifetime, I haven't seen anything this fever pitch. But so the tensions are still running very high. We know President, at the time of filming this show, that President Trump had an initial call with Prime Minister Trudeau. There's a second one to be followed up with very shortly. Could you shed some light on what exactly is fueling this tariff war and what it means for the future of our two nations, especially with respect to trade?
Thank you, Tony. I agree. I've just finished completing an op-ed that I submitted only about an hour ago to the National Post. And what I did was I analyzed what I believe is the single most important paper published in the last 60 days or maybe 6 months concerning this whole debate. It was written by Stephen Marin, Marin, for those who want to Google him. He was many years in Wall Street as a hedge fund person with the Hudson Bay Capital, I believe. It's not a Canadian company. It's a Manhattan company. He has a PhD in economics from Harvard University, and he served for 4 years in the first Trump administration, 16 to 20, at a very senior level in the Treasury Department, which is their finance department. And he is a very close confidant of President Trump, and he just got appointed as the chief economist to President Trump in the White House. So what I'm trying to say is he is as close to the brain of Donald Trump as anybody. And he wrote this paper, which I just found stunning. And I want to make it clear, I do not agree with what President Trump is doing. I'm not here to defend President Trump. I'm here to explain and analyze what on earth are they up to? What are they doing? Even though if it may sound like I'm being sympathetic, I don't agree with tariffs. I've been opposed to tariffs since I started teaching 35 years ago. I started in 1988, and I was 2 weeks on the job, and I got a phone call saying, there's this huge free trade election. Can you come out and speak on behalf of the new FTA that Prime Minister Mulroney is proposing and John Turner is opposing? So I got thrown into the fire. 2 weeks on the job because they said, yes, I'll go
Wow.
to high schools and so forth. So I am a huge free trader. I do not believe in tariffs. I think they're destructive no matter who proposes them, no matter what political party, no matter what country. I am opposed to tariffs completely. Now, having put that disclosure out there in this paper, because I said, I don't buy this argument that I've been hearing from our leaders. Trump is crazy. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't even, I've heard Premier Ford say this, doesn't even know what's coming out of his mouth. He doesn't know why he likes the tariffs. And, Tanya, sorry for this kind of language, but I came from the real world, okay? I was 9 years in banking in our country, lending millions and millions of dollars to small and medium-sized enterprises and mortgages in the late 70s, early 80s. And I've worked in several large organizations, not just Carleton. And I just don't believe that people get to that level in very large organizations at being clueless. I just don't believe it. Some people do. That's good for them. I don't. I just don't believe it. It's too competitive to get up to the top of any organization.
Okay, I have to
So
pause you there. Sorry, Dr. Lee. We have to cut to commercial, but I want you to pick up this point right when we return.